We have our next speaker with us, Dr. Sausan Riyami, EJAAD Director, EJAAD at the Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Innovation. Speaking on today's topic, EJAAD contributing to knowledge-based economy. Over to you, Dr. Sausan.
Thank you very much for introducing me, Sausan Riyami from the Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Innovation. Today I would love to cover EJAAD as a contributing unit to knowledge-based economy here in Oman. And first of all, thanks very much for the previous speaker who introduced Omren Technology already for the audience and make my task a bit easier and soft forward. Within 10 minutes or less, I will cover EJAAD Journey and finally the mission of EJAAD and the future activity of EJAAD as follows. The journey of EJAAD, I could say with full confidence that it is an accumulative effort from different units, from different people, from different entities, until we could see EJAAD taking place in 2018 on launch. Before there is a more of activity and initiatives has been performed by different people and units. Example starting from 2010, Industrial Innovation Center has been created and initiated by the Research Council with a huge cooperation of it. Institute of Advanced Technology Integration, another initiative from the Research Council in 2014 with very close cooperation with Oman and Germany, representative by the later by Helmholtz Center, Association Center. There is a 3 project has been running there in Kiel, in Berlin, Potsdam, and finally in Leipzig in 2 topics, one in water and the 2 in water and one in energy conservation. Oman Energy Forum taking place in 2015 and ended by a special report with certain recommendation in 2016. And one of them is the R&D itself. The R&D Summit is 2017 has held at SKU and also trying to close the gap between the industry and the academia. At the end, if you can see what we are trying to do, that we would love to bring the R&D into the level matching the current activity from our academia itself. And then finally, EJAAD protocol has been recommended to be industrial academia R&D protocol with the cooperation of a 3 entity, which I will explain it in the next slide. In Oman Energy Forum, as I have been mentioned in 2015 in the last slide, addressed 5 key streams topics. First, energy demand, energy supply, R&D, labor, water, food, energy nexus. One of the outcomes of it is Oman Energy Master Plan 2040. If we zoom in R&D, we think that there is multi-initiatives have been building on later on between the academia, the government, and finally the industry themselves. But due to the real existence gap between the capability existing, the interest of the academia, and the fund limited to the R&D providers, research provider, and the industry interests and needs, there is a gap that could not be neglected, and facts that allow us to build on 2017 Oman Energy Industry Academia R&D Protocol as one of the recommendations, led by 2 governments, the Research Council before, which is now part of the Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Innovation, where I belong to, Petroleum Development of Oman representing the industrial people, and finally the Ministry of Energy and Minerals, which is known before as Ministry of Oil and Gas. EJAAD launched and focused mainly in energy efficiency, and water and oil and gas at the beginning. What we can provide and what we are interested about. As I mentioned, as EJAAD in e-platform, we open the door for the industry people to submit all their challenges in our platform. And all the academia who are member of EJAAD could submit their either research idea to attract the industry about their amazing novel idea that they could provide a real solution and deploy it in a real challenge at the industry, or they could submit their solution for the real challenge has been posted by our member from industry side. When I say industry, I mean those who are dealing as a company here in Oman and facing a real challenging in their field. Either it's oil and gas or something else. Equipment and facility database, it's a kind of iLab that it is listing R&D equipment available in certain research institutes here in Oman or the university or college in Oman, whether they are local or they are private. And the staff mobility in the previous, we have been able to attract the experts from different fields, whether they are researchers or they are academia, to come and move from the industry to academia or from academia to industry or from both sides to EJAAD or vice versa to circulate the knowledge, to learn more. And we believe that this factor will close the gap indeed, since a knowledge will be built on from different sectors. Also, we provide the studies when our client or our stakeholder would love to focus and zoom into certain challenge or certain topic. EJAAD at that time could provide also an advice and extend it to a small task and study. We run different workshop and training sometimes, and I kept recall the workshop has been done and training program has been done with the cooperation with SKU, and that about the sustainability in energy sustainability and at 2017. Also, we opened the door for our international colleague to shake hands with us and increase the value of the solution with our company. We ask those partners from the international to shake hands with us and shake hands with our local academia. We have a certain process for that, and if anybody interested, please let us know. Those are EJAAD stakeholders. Much are there, but they are just in general. Where do we focus and what is our interested area? Our interested area is not belonging 100% basic research or deployment, which it is into an industrial scale. We are focusing more to enable the development, testing, and validation of the technology, which is very well known to be technology readiness level 4 to 5 to 6. And we sometimes be a partner with those who are interested to let EJAAD involve in certain deployment, that it is returning us to TRL 5 or TRL 6, where we need to verify and test the technology again after the deployment. And that's what they call the R&D cycle. During the last 3 years, and once it has been established, EJAAD, there is about 22 challenge that has been interested or been submitted through our e-platform. And if you can see that most of them are in oil and gas, and you could realize now that our mission now is to push it more into diverse the area and to water, energy efficiency, environment, biotechnology, renewable energy, and digitalization, which is matching today's topic. This is our selected example. How do we success in building a relation between industry, academia, or we build it between industry and academia themselves, and it's diverse from environment area, bio or water area, which is integrated area, and finally the oil and gas. There is some example as well about our study services or joint project between EJAAD and academia and the industrial people, which it is fourth IR evolution, which it is between BDO and EJAAD, IoT, Internet of Things, Kafa, which it is focusing about the energy efficiency with the water efficiency related to specific building, hydrogen visibility study, which it is a hot topic recently for as an alternative energy or alternative economy. This is with a close collaboration and cooperation with the Ministry of Energy and Minerals. Hopefully the result will be soon this year. And finally, the technology mapping that the team with our stakeholder are shaking hand to hand to map the possibility and the potential of the challenge or the obstacle that such a field might facing, and then we try to provide solution into it. Haya Asiad is one of our partners that we tried this with them. In 2021, the steering committee of EJAAD reviewed the operational plan of 2021, and they approved it with our new chairperson, His Excellency Dr. Saif Al-Hatabi. And here you could see who's are in this steering committee as the Ministry of Transport, Communication, Information Technology, Higher Education Ministry, Energy and Minerals, and Ghurfa Madain, Innovation Center, Oman Investment Authority, a final video. EJAAD activity for 2021, we are diverse focusing here that we are welcoming everybody to be EJAAD member by signing our new agreement with all the advantage and commitment that finally you could receive. Industrial challenge, we would love to diverse, as I mentioned before, our area. And the research idea will usually encourage the academia to be proactive and approach the industry by their novel ideas. And also we are making sure to process through certain steps to assure the joint industrial academia projects, technology mapping, workshops, scientific events, also international collaboration and cooperation, the iLab itself as a database of equipments to encourage the cooperation between the institutes themselves. And this also will dramatically reduce the fund. If you want, for example, to use one device and it's existed some elsewhere, you have to just double check it and reduce the fund and ensure the cooperation with other entities. The framework that it is a framework that manage EJAAD activity and so on. How do we function that industrial challenge entered to EJAAD and finally received by the academia themselves? As I mentioned, we are dealing with 8 areas, some having more attractive challenges than the other, depend on the market itself. But our aim is to enable the 8 themselves. Sometimes we don't go with one entity to solve the problem. We go under the governmental leading because we need to have the governmental commitment first before we go further with a solution that might be blocked eventually by certain regulation or policy. So sometimes the ministries or the government entities are enablers to provide us with this solution. They are part of the solution. Also, we encourage the SME to come and we welcome them if they're having our R&D activity to join EJAAD itself, and either they become a solution provider or they might facing certain challenging in their field. Again, international collaboration, one item in our agenda for 2021, and we will encourage it. If there is no uptake from the local academia, we will go through our back office of EJAAD solution integrator, who will think it more and more, how do we enable it through our system or through the multi-industrial academia. And this is just to show you how the process goes internally in EJAAD. How do we approve the industrial challenge until it becomes joint industrial academia project? This is due to the time limitation. I make it short for everybody, and thank you very much for your kind attention. If you would love to hear more about EJAAD, feel free to send any question through info@ejaad.com, or please contact me directly. For you, chairperson.
Dr. Sausan?
Yes?
Thank you for your presentation. Just a few questions. The steering committee, which you just showed us. So what does the steering committee actually do? You said work on the which project?
Actually, when you have a steering committee, from the name, it is steering level, when sometimes you need to endorse a decision coming from different entity, and their role, they have different duties and role to endorse the strategic decision of EJAAD, in short. And one of it is the business plan of 2021, like, for example, the international collaboration and the target, the KPIs, and the others.
Perfect. All right, Dr. Sausan, thank you for your time. And
you're most welcome.
have a nice day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.